Welcome back, and you know what it is. If you haven't done so already, make sure you check out my video where I talk about the secret. Something you might want to know if you're working towards, or when you're working towards, being a success. Now, over the last 6 months or so, I've been buying way more books than I actually been reading. The reason is, when you read a self-improvement book, most of the time the author references other books, at minimum 3, that they are helping illustrate their perspective or their take on something that they want to share with you. And if I'm enjoying that book that I'm reading, I don't want to miss out on other great material. So I end up ordering those other books that they mention in the book. So that means at best or at minimum, I'm ordering 3 books for every book that I'm reading. And then I get excited because I got new books coming in and I haven't finished what I already read. So I'm working on changing that. So the book that I've recently read is titled No More Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Robert A. Glover. This book is about 200 pages. So looking at the pages, I did the math. I said, well, if I read 50 pages a day, I can finish this book in 4 days. Guys, this book was a page turner. I was totally engaged in this book. So I ended up reading 100 pages a day and finished this book in 2 days. And implementing what I learned from this book, it has helped me change my relationships in my life drastically just by implementing one tool from what I learned from this book. Now, I highly recommend that not only men read this book, but women also. The reason why I think it's even more important for a woman to read this book is because women who raise sons and women who date men need to know how what they do influences men's behavior. And that's actually what the book surprised me with, because I expected it to talk about more about, since the title is called No More Mr. Nice Guy, it was going to be more so about a man being tough, something about this short of being an a-hole, for lack of a better term, and not so much of a pushover. But that wasn't what it was about. The book was about a man acknowledging his emotions and his needs also, and not putting them on the back burner for the sake of someone else's feelings and emotions. And most men do this. I know this because I used to be one of them. And I learned this from a previous relationship, that it's not my responsibility to make someone else happy. So what happens is, if you do something you honestly don't want to do for the sake of making someone else happy, and it doesn't work, you double pissed. Because 1, you did something you ain't want to do. And then 2, you did it and it didn't work. So now you super pissed. So at your true core or essence as a man, that's why being nice, for the most part, does not work. You're sacrificing your wants, your needs, your desires, and your emotions for the sake of not hurting or not pleasing someone else. Meanwhile, your own needs may not be getting met. So that's the basis of what I got from the book. But it really talks about how a man's relationship with his mother, whether they had issues that were resolved or unresolved, carries over into his next relationships with women, or his relationships with women, from what was going on between the dynamic of the relationship he had with his mother. That's why I feel it's very important for women also to read this book. All right, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Original Greatness. And I want to leave you guys with some simple food for thought. Education is a never-ending process, and it is your responsibility to be educated. This is also important to know. Education without application is ignorance. You get the same result as not knowing something and doing nothing as you do as knowing something and doing nothing. It's ignorant. When you learn information or you get a great piece of information, that is never enough. You sharing it with other people, that's cool. But if you're not applying it yourself, it's not as powerful as somebody seeing you be about something you say. If you say you're gonna do something and you do it, that's a lot more powerful than having conversations with people saying what they should be doing, or you should do this, and you not about what you talking about. Well, you should get up early because if you do this, you can do that, and you sleep in all day. It's not as powerful as you getting up early and your results are showing from it, and then you sharing that information with someone else. So always remember, education is a non-stop process, and it's your responsibility to educate yourself and to apply what you learn. So, as always, be original, be great, and say, I am original greatness. God bless.